the situation. What happened in regards to the training thing? 'Cause she said that you're accusing her of being rude.
I brought her to F2 and I told her that what happened, and she said, sometimes I talk without thinking, but when I went to the training on the pier, it was by mistake. I was trying to go somewhere quiet with no people, but then I crossed the line and then they were shooting me. So I got down and I was like, why are you shooting me? And you should repair my car. So I told her, Mali, in general, your attitude, it needs to be in F1, professional plus respectful. Outside F1, it should be at least respectful and to be careful because, yeah, to stay safe. We're in good terms. It wasn't like punishment or something. I gave her an advice which was needed.
She told me that did she explain to you what her side of events?
Yeah, and honestly, like she what she said she just said like don't why did you shoot my car and repair it, and that's acceptable. But when I was asking her, I asked her based on what everyone there was saying, Carolina and Harel, I think, not sure, Alfie or Amin, I'm not sure. They were saying she was calling them dumb and stuff, so I was just talking about the language, not whose side was right or whose side was wrong. I told her to use language, safe language, so she doesn't get into trouble. Because if they have a recording of her just saying that, she will be in trouble.
So I come up and asked her today what her side of events are, and she said she drove over there to the pier, and her car was getting shot at, and she started shouting because she wanted them to repair her car because they were shooting at her.
Yeah,
Then
which
she,
is under.
yeah, then she said, and then Thomas had me up here and telling me I know you was being rude and disrespectful, and I said Thomas doesn't have any evidence of you doing that. This is why I'm here asking your side, which what you should have done. You should have asked her side of events and not gone off because PDs told you someone was being disrespectful. Should have found out why they were shooting at her car because they shouldn't have even been doing that.
Yeah, so like I said, when they came back, her colleagues, not one, they were saying that she was using language, like bad language, that could get her into trouble. So when I called her here, it was some like mentoring, not punishment at all, which you can ask her that Mali, you need to be careful because if there's a recording of you using bad language, she obviously doesn't have a recording when they were shooting her. So I told her, you need to use respectful language or you will get into trouble, not by me, by the people who are offended. You get me? I was
It
showing
makes
her how
me
to be safe because she got dismissed before and she was like, I got VDM'd first and then I used taser for self defense, but then I got dismissed. So I told her, Mali, you're already on a 30 days cooldown. I don't want you to be on another cooldown. Plus, I was speaking to her because on F1 and stuff, when she says shit, she says the F word, she says stuff like that. So I told her, Mali, like, I like you and everything. We're friends because we are. But I always like let it pass, let a lot of stuff pass. But if anyone has a recording for a full day, he will record you like doing three, like breaking three rules and you will get dismissed. So be careful.
so as you're saying, ask her yourself. I did speak to her. She's the one that flagged up that you said to her, no, you're being disrespectful and rude, and you need to not be disrespectful and rude. You didn't ask her side of events in terms of what happened. It was just you was being disrespectful and rude. And I said, well, that shouldn't have gone ahead because you haven't seen any body cam footage from the PD officer. And just because the PD officer's told you someone's being rude, you need to find out both sides of the story before saying anything like that. Like they shouldn't have been shooting a car, bottom line.
Obviously, yeah. So this is my part of the story, right? Anyways, I was just with Mali and some people in the bar. We were dancing and music, and there's like, we're good, good. You get me? Yeah,
No,
but
but
me and him
I'm
are good.
listen,
Like,
I'm not saying that you're not good. I'm not saying that you're not good. What I'm saying is how you approach the situation is not how you do it. You need to find out from her what happened in terms of events. Not I've heard from PD, so I've spoken to her and I've told, and then she's saying it, you're saying don't be disrespectful. No, you was being disrespectful. This was her side saying that, you had her up here telling her that she was rude and disrespectful rather than finding out what had happened. That's why I'm speaking to you about it.
yeah, but that's what she said. And then again, there's my side of the story. Like right now, you're doing the same thing that you're saying that I did to her, which is assuming without my side of the story. So my side of the story is she told me what happened, and I was on about the fact that she's using the language that Carolina, Alfie, and Harel said she did, not about who was right, who was wrong. You get me?
But I'm not though, because like I said, there's no evidence to back it up. So we can't be saying you're disrespectful and you're being rude. There's no proof of it. When someone comes to you saying someone said this, to go, okay, have you got the evidence? No, then I can't do nothing about it. It's that simple. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I get you. You're completely right. Imagine, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Imagine if Sir Rory, he's my like good friend, but he's also higher rank, so kind of like a mentor to me, right? So imagine, Sir Rory, if three of my colleagues come and tell you, we were so embarrassed by Thomas's language and PD and looking for a record and stuff, and then you call me up here and you tell me, listen, bro, like, don't use language that can get you into trouble, because if someone records you and they just put part of it, yeah. And I also mentioned the previous thing that happened with her getting saying that she got VDM'd and then it didn't look like a self defense. So I said, yeah, but I'm saying not as a punishment. You're saying to me as an advice since you saw me using bad language like five, six, 7 times already. So you tell me, bro, someone is saying you're using bad language, not referring to PD, referring to her colleagues. So watch out with the bad language. But I wasn't on about like you did wrong to PD or they did wrong to you. I was just talking about the safe language so she doesn't get dismissed if there's a recording.
But what I'm saying to you is what she said to me today is you literally had her up here and said no, she this was her words. You said no, you was being rude and you was being disrespectful, blah blah blah. This is how she put it across. What I'm saying is be careful when you're speaking with them, in the sense of like knowing if you've got the evidence to back that up. You can't just point fingers saying you were this, you were that. You need to know, like, that it's wrong that they're shooting at a car. Why are we having a go at medics for the way they're reacting and responding to something that they shouldn't have been in a situation like that anyway?
Yeah, which I agree. They shouldn't have done that. But if they have a recording of her using some language, which I don't have a proof to, but as an advice, if someone just how you tell people when someone is VDMing you, you need to record them first and then use a taser. So it's something like that. Like you need a proof also, Mali, before you can like be disrespectful and use language, bad language, or you will be
Yeah,
punished
I
if there's a
know, but
recording of that.
you're stood here saying you did it out of word of advice, okay? But what she's saying is you were saying no, you was disrespectful, you was being rude, blah blah blah. That's how she said. That's how she put it across when I spoke with her earlier. I wasn't even speaking about you. I was asking for her word of her events. I didn't know that she'd been spoken to. And she went, and Thomas had me up here and told me I was rude and I was disrespectful and all this. This is why I'm speaking with you, because this is what she's saying.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I get you. Like when you cut out a portion of the conversation, yeah, it sounds like that. But when you like see the whole conversation, it was like all just advices, and I'm telling her, I'm worried about you. We don't want to lose you.